This video is made possible by the following sponsors. Make sure to check out their products as well as the rest of my gear in the description below. Hey guys, massively overdressed sim racing boy here, and welcome back to another video. As you can probably see by the title and thumbnail, today I am doing some more equally stupid content. This time trying to lap the Isle of Man TT circuit in a Formula 1 car. Our coffin for this endeavour is the Ferrari F2004 complete with the V10 engine, which every F1 fan in the world tells me will fix Formula 1. As you can see, we are in Assetto Corsa. The Isle of Man is a mod. The mod track is quite basic, but to be honest, the effort it requires to do a track of this length from scratch, I'm not really that bothered. I'm more just impressed that this track exists at all. Because we're in Assetto Corsa, we're going to be using VR, which is going to be quite intense because, as you can probably imagine, the Formula 1 car is quite fast around here. I did a little bit of testing just to try and get used to the track. I far from have it memorised at the moment. But we're hitting top speeds of about 350 kilometres an hour, and this is with houses flying by either side. And of course we have lots of downforce as well, so the corners that might scare you on the bike are no bother for this Formula 1 car. So I'm going to go and complete the granddaddy of all outlaps, and then we're going to go see how fast a V10 Formula 1 car can lap the Isle of Man circuit. What has my channel become? Okay then, on board in our Ferrari F1 car here on the Isle of Man TT circuit. We're just by the start-finish line. See in the top left there, the timer just counting down. Once we get to a minute, we will go, and then we will subtract a minute for our time. The car has barely any downforce compared to the stock setup, baseline setup. So it's going to be very interesting. Just waiting for that timer then. 2, 1, go! So here we go then. Ferrari F2004 on the Isle of Man. Already rocketing down the hill here. Already past 200 miles per hour. Coming to Bray Hill, not even a hint of a lift through there. 335 k's over there, already in top gear, 7th gear, getting near to the rev limiter. Got to brake nice and early for this right hand. I think it's called Quarter Bridge, I want to say. Easy through there. Nice, use all the road on the exit. Now this first section is actually deceptively twisty, so we have to be a bit careful through here. Not running much downforce, as I said, so the car isn't too hot in these slower speed corners, and of course these curbs here, just like the bikes, a complete no-no, do not touch them. Back up through the gears once more, and I hope you guys like the sound of a high-revving V10, because you're going to hear a lot of that as we go through this lap. Again, this section a little bit deceptive, so I'm going to be a bit slow through here, just nice and careful, then we can open her up. There we go. That petrol station on the left there means we've got a big old straight coming up. Here it goes. Slightly uphill here, so we won't quite get up to top speed, but then it does descend again. Now, in terms of lap knowledge, I think I've got a lot better around here. I think so anyway. There are still a lot of areas that I don't know, of course. You're probably going to see that as the lap continues flat through there. Bear in mind, we're doing 340 k's at this point. Look to the left, look how fast stuff is just whizzing by. Absolutely rest in peace to my bit rate. Over this left-hander here, just a slight blend of the front. Look how close you get to the curb. Of course, you're hunkered down on this thing. It's very hard to see over any sort of crest at all. You have to just know where you're going and trust in the limited downforce of this car after our setup changes again. Just sitting at 340 k's like it's nothing. Can't really take off much more downforce than this without really having the car suffer. So we are sort of on the limit for that. Well, for me anyway. Of course, the crest and the side of the road are places that go hand in hand. You hit the crest, you end up at the side of the road usually, but I've noticed on this circuit, if you get it wrong, you tend to get flung out of bounds, which means you get reset to the pit lane and your lap is null and void. I totally didn't do that in the last minute of a lap in one of my practice runs, so that was good. I say practice runs, what I tend to do, oh that was slow through there, what I tend to do for practice runs is I just run the lap and then get out at the start-finish line, or just before I cross the start-finish line, so I don't know the time. So this is Balacrane, I think this bit is. Bumpy. That wall on the left there is actually not collidable, but we don't want to hit it anyway. Now this section is very difficult to gauge where you're going. You can see the trees at the top there give you a real sense of speed, especially in VR. Just trying to make sure I'm on the right part of the road. Some of it is quite deceptive. I like to think that I'm fairly good at reading roads in this situation, but could have just how much of the how much of the scenery looks the same. It's quite hard to gauge it all. Heavy on the brakes there. Again, very deceptive corner. Like, you think you can take speed through there, but you usually can't. Just like the bike, this thing accelerates so damn quickly, but we have the added luxury of having 4 wheels, a lot more stability, and a lot more cornering speed. Of course, we've got downforce in this thing. None of that on bikes. Not really, anyway. No, and our first biff of the lap. Again, I am just sort of trying to read the road at this point with very limited knowledge, so please excuse a couple of biffs every here and there. No, I went down a couple of gears there. I thought I was at a different place on the circuit. I think we can open up a bit now. Yes, we can. Again, back up into 7th gear and back up to above 200 miles an hour. I'm very interested what the lap speed of this will be around here. Now, if memory serves correctly, the video that got me banned on YouTube for a night, or banned from streaming anyway, the lap record is a 1650 set on a BMW. We're in a feather, of course, and I'm going to go out and say we're probably going to smash that. Wow! Okay, I forgot that about that corner. That's sort of the thing with the F1 car. You make a mistake, most of the time you're okay because you can slow down and adjust yourself. But every now and then you think you're somewhere else, try and go through the corner at 200 miles per hour, and you just have the biggest crash. It's a bit of a theme with Isle of Man, really, is you have the biggest crash, ends most of your sentences when describing this place. Look at the trees, though. The sense of speed in VR is... I had goosebumps the first time I went through here, and maybe to you guys it seems a bit slow. The track is quite wide, oh my! The track feels quite wide anyway, from this perspective, so I think it sort of dampens the sense of speed slightly. So I think, yeah, we're coming around this right-hander now into Kirkmichael, which is a really fun section. You can pretty much keep it pinned through here, but a little bit of a lift every now and then. But look at these houses just go whizzing by either side. One mistake, and I'm in someone's bedroom. Hello. Probably on fire though, so probably not the best thing. So through that section there is a big elevation change that really upsets the bike. No issue in this car at all, because we're just pinned to the floor by the downforce. I should have kept it flat there. You can sort of see sometimes where the road is going. And those are the best points of this car, because you can really plan ahead. Of course, when you're driving at this speed, I am looking as far ahead as I can possibly see, just to try and see what's coming up next. I can see now I've got a right-hander coming up due to sort of bit on the wall here. Oh no, left-hander, sorry, it's a bridge, apologies. But still, I could see it was time to slow down. That's what those little barriers indicate. A little bit of air over the bridge there, which this car would totally not just destroy itself when landing. That's why I love Sims. We can do stupid stuff. Slow down a bit through here. Now I'm pretty sure at this point, around this point on the circuit, I actually managed to Austin Powers an F1 car, which basically means I got stuck and had to do like a 38-point turn. Wasn't the most glamorous of things. Come on, downforce. Oh, based downforce just keeps you sucked to the road. Left, again, just trying to read the road by seeing what the trees do in the distance. Now this is where we get up to top speed. See the trees lining the road, just pretty much just willing you on, like, come on mate, keep it pinned. Only 340 k's there. We're going to go flat through here, I guess we are. Slow corner coming up. Again, really early on the brakes, just to be nice and safe. And then nail the throttle. We are using traction control around here because of just the nature of the course. Don't want to risk it otherwise. You can see I'm taking quite a middling line for a lot of the corners because sometimes the curbs are hidden, which is not fun. A bit slower through here, I think. There you go, that's where Austin Powers, I think it was there. And I must say, I know the detail of this track isn't great, and some people are going to be saying, oh, where is this, R-Factor 1? But bear in mind, this was made from scratch in like a track building program. And the fact that I know where I'm going a lot of the time, and I know a lot of the corners, I think says a lot for the detail of it. Really good job. Oh, okay. Nearly went wide there, actually. Luckily, my MVP brakes stopped me. The brakes are pretty cold a lot of the time around here, as you can probably imagine, because you're just not really using them. The thing about these cars with all these downforces, when you let off the throttle, you're pretty much, for a brief period of time, because of the downforce, you have the braking of a sort of modern family saloon there, just by lifting your foot off the accelerator. It's when you hit the brake pedal when you get the really thrown forward sensation in the seat. So being nice and chill through here. Oh, that was a bit of a scary bit. Now this is Parliament Square, I think. Quite right-hander. Bit fast into there. Oh, sorry, mate. Lucky the curb saved me from hitting someone's Mercedes. That's a Suzuki dealership, I think, in real life. Now we're coming up not too far away from Ramsey's hairpin. Now we haven't got much lock in this car. No. Oh, that was close. We were lucky through there. We don't have much lock in this car, so I've got to take it nice and slow. Down the first gear as wide as possible. Turn it in. There's all our lock. And we're round. Okay, good. There's a couple more corners like that. I think we have the, I think it's called the gooseneck hairpin, which is not too far away from here. I know all the big corners, but not all like the small ones in between. I sort of know, right, I've got to prepare for this. He says as he hits the wall again. I'm not doing too bad so far. I did know I was going to hit the wall a couple of times because I'm ultimately driving an F1 car on a circuit I don't really know. There are going to be a couple of mistakes. So here comes the gooseneck up here. It's just this right-hander, or goose bend. I think it was goose something. Hold on. Some sort of goose involved. Now the mountain section. This is actually really fun because you can see quite far ahead in this thing when you get to the proper section coming up here, and it allows you just to, well, keep on the throttle a bit longer. Just touching the grass on the left there. Look to the right. Look at that. Even in VR, even in the low graphic settings that this circuit has, it still looks pretty cool looking down and seeing the mountains whiz by there, or very slowly move, I guess. But the scale of it was not lost. Now, of course, when you're driving in VR, you don't really look around too much. You just sort of look. You see where I look. I'm not looking around like this too much. So you see this stuff in your peripheral vision, and in your peripheral vision, that's pretty nice. So can't really complain. Again, the 7th gear. The thing is, you spend so much time going so fast in this car, and it almost becomes second nature. It almost becomes, okay, 200 miles an hour again, I guess. And it sort of almost helps you to understand what the riders are like around here. If you aren't going 300 k's plus, you're going slowly, you know, and I think it feels slow over here. When you slow down for Parliament Square and the goose whatever hairpin, you find yourself feeling like this is slow. Just that context. You've been going so fast the rest of the lap that when you finally slow down, it just feels horrible. So we're in about the last quarter of a lap now. Pretty fast through here again. You can see pretty much where you're going. I'm again just staying in the middle of the circuit. I don't really want to be pushing it. I know there's somewhere called the bungalow coming up. There it is. Yeah, I was a little bit slow on the brakes there, but just about saw it coming. Nice. Back up to speed again. This thing just accelerates so hard. It's so cool driving I'm driving a V10 car around the Isle of Man. How cool is sim racing? How cool is sim racing, ladies and gentlemen? In VR. Like, I love sim racing so much. So remember we have a minute to take off our time. I'm not going to look at it until we get to the end of the pit wall, because that's where the start-finish line was. Okay, so we're going over there. You can see the road. Nice and easy. Just trying to be smooth at this point. Bit of a longer lap than the Nordschleife this one. It's over. You sort of don't run out of things to talk about, but you run out of the main point. So you just end up focusing on the driving, which a lot of people ask me to do on these laps. So just focus on driving, don't talk. So yeah, but you can watch hot laps anywhere. Oh no! Don't go into the dead zone. Okay, that was really lucky there. That's why you don't talk. So, you know, I think that's our 4th time we've sort of gone off and hit something. Now down to this pub that begins with C that I forget the name of. Oh, it hasn't got the name on it. It's called It's There though. Nice long exit there. Now I've got to be careful of these bits either side here, because they will fling you into the nether realm. I don't really want to go there right now. I'm not really fancying that. So I want to complete this lap. But again, just catch you doing 340 k's like it's absolutely feckin' nothing. Just looking up ahead to see we've got a mild right coming up. Going to go down one. Get in nice and early. Got off a bit more speed for here because it's corners like you can't really see. Getting up to a built-up area now, which usually means we've got to slow down in a minute. With the exception of Kurt Michael, of course, this means keep it pinned and don't hit anything. Right, going to keep it nice and tight here. Don't want to run wide at all. There you go. Some big bumps in this circuit where the track is sort of meshed together. Really not far to go now. Oh, that was tighter than I remember it being. And we have one more super tight corner to come. There it is! I forgot about it. That came up sooner than I thought. Reversing, go. There you go. Sorry! Well, it came up sooner than I thought. But there you go, that is pretty much the Isle of Man. So, oh my god. So take a minute off this and that is our Isle of Man time. Is it going to be a sub 14? That is like a 14.1. We didn't quite get into the sub 14, but a 14.1045, of course, accounting for the fact with the minute at the start. But that is 2 minutes 50 seconds faster than the fastest bike that ever gone around here. Of course, I expected that. These machines are just faster than bikes. Bikes in general, if you compare their tops, well, I say bikes in general aren't fast. They are, of course, very fast, but they aren't as good in corners as cars are because we have 4 wheels, they only have 2. But that was a really interesting experience. Hope you guys liked it. If you did, make sure to hit that like button. If you really enjoyed it, hit subscribe to be notified of future videos. Of course, make sure to hit the notification button as well, so YouTube doesn't screw me over anymore. Take care, have an awesome day. See you all next time.